Please note before I begin this creepypasta that I am treating this as both a journal and a lost episode. The name of the creepypasta is called Dear Journal. It is a Doug Funny creepypasta. Now I'll be treating this as a lost episode, so forgive the stuff I put to pad out the main story. Please enjoy this tale, and enjoy the nightmares. I found this weird lost episode of Doug. You remember that show, right? The one where he's always writing in the journal? This one... I hated the show as a kid, by the way. This one... well... it seemed to be part of a multi-part episode or something, and this was the only one they made. Well, it was basically one long journal entry, which most of the episodes are, only there was no dialogue or anything. It really was one long journal entry. All the way through, that was the narration, and Doug sounded really depressed. Here's the transcript. Dear Journal, I don't know if it's me, Doug, anymore. As you no doubt remember from my previous entry, Bluffington is no longer as I remember it. Everything outside is dark, and I don't remember the last time I saw the sun. The silence in the house is oppressive. The air is heavy and collects in my lungs as moisture from a fog. Every time I look up, the bulbs appear to grow fainter and yellower. 3 of them have burnt out on the lower floors. As you will remember, Journal, Judy is locked up in the basement. She was hammering on the door loudly and moaning in that once human voice for hours, but now she's fallen silent. I dare not unlock the door. Once, and only once, I have tried to listen at the portal. I heard a very faint but raspy breathing of a bloody throat and the touch of fingertips on the wooden door. Judy, or what was Judy, then slammed the door with what I presumed were fists and released a cacophony of screaming. It took 10 minutes for it to fall silent again, and I cannot stand to provoke it again. Mom and Dad said they had to look for help and try to make a run for it. I closed and bolted the door after them, as they instructed, but still heard the screams, human and inhuman, from outside. I never heard the car's engine start. The cracking and slurping continued for an hour. I tried to comfort myself with Porkchop's company, but eventually, for no reason I can decipher, he went mad, running in circles and foaming at the mouth, barking at every exit to the outside. He continued his spiral into madness to where I felt I needed to release him from the cell, and proceeded to loop my belt around his neck during the few moments he seems to sleep. It was a blessing to us both when he finally vomited up blood, whined once, and fell over dead. All the lights in the house suddenly went dead. Excuse my poor penmanship, Journal, for I'm writing this in total darkness. I can hear the faint murmuring outside. Picking up the phone, I hear nothing, no dial tone, such as it was in my previous entry. My eyes are adjusting to the dark. Looking out the window, I can see black on black shapes writhing, human bodies controlled by something else, their movements lithe and flexible, as if unused to their own forms, but unconcerned by the pain of twisting joints or tearing flesh. On the bizarre lawn, I could see the fat, bloated form of Bud Dink, arms twisting in bizarre directions in deference to some obscene being or deity or something else beyond my comprehension. I fear I'm the only one in the town not yet affected or dead. I can hear sounds now. What would be speech, but only come as illegible tonguing to my still sane ears? But I can recognize voices, the crass braying of Roger, the shrill piping of Bebe, the high, perfect singer tones of Patty. My dear sweet Patty, into such a thing of evil and horror. I could only pray that the real you, Patty, is left somewhere unreachable by this insidious influence. Honk honk, I hear, echoing through the streets and over the carefully manicured lawns. So he still retains something of him. Perhaps it was because it was the first, that it started with him. Friendly Skeeter, poor Skeeter, damn too smart Skeeter with his perfect IQ scores. Damn him and his sudden obsession with those ruins. He was the only one who could have done it. If I'd killed him that day, as I knew in my heart of hearts I should have, this all could have been avoided. My body trembles. My mind quakes. I hear a crash. The front doors below me are open. Suddenly the sounds fill the house. I hear what is Judy banging on the basement door again, screaming to be relieved, even as her rescuers thunder up the stairs toward me. The revolver in my hand cannot stop them all. I do not want to see what'll come next anyway. I feel what is coming is worse than any hell that comes of death by one's own hands. You were my only friend able to comfort me in my last moment of this journal. Goodbye. This was followed by a gunshot, and the screen went to black. I'm guessing this was supposed to be like a final episode or something. And, well, there's one way to end it. Kill everyone off and make them all weird-ass zombies. You could see why this was never released. And they made something like a graduation episode or something. Anyway, that's all I've got. Bye!